Hello, children. Let's start reading our new lesson. Jack discovers a new world. You already know about this boy named Jack who lives with his mother. They're very poor. They have to sell their household belongings to get food for themselves. So they decide to sell their cow named Daisy. Jack takes the cow to the market. There, he sells it to a stranger for a handful of beans. Back home, his mother scolds him and throws the bean outside the window. They had to sleep on an empty stomach. In the morning, when Jack gets up, he finds a huge beanstalk outside his window and he starts climbing. What happens? Let's discover new lesson. Jack discovers a new world. When the beanstalk ended, Jack found himself in front of a great castle with a broad road leading straight up to the front gate. As he drew near the castle, he saw a huge lady standing at the door. "Would you please, ma'am," said he, "give me some breakfast? I have had nothing to eat since yesterday." She said, "Very well, little man. Come in. But you must be quick about it. If my husband, the giant, finds you here, he will eat you up, bones and all. Here is a cup of milk and some sandwiches." Suddenly, there was a loud knock at the front door, which seemed to shake even the thick walls of the castle. Quickly, the giant's wife lifted Jack up and popped him into an empty kettle where her husband roared out, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a young one. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. It is a boy, I'm sure it is," he continued. "Where is he? I will have him for my breakfast." "Nonsense," said his wife. "You must be mistaken. It's the ox's hide you smell." So he sat down and ate a greater part of the ox. When he had finished, he said, "Wife, bring me my money bags." His wife brought him 2 bags of gold, and the giant began to count his money. So, in this page, we come to know that Jack is welcomed by the giant lady and she gives him a cup of milk and some sandwiches to eat. Before he could start, the giant comes and he starts banging the door of the castle. So his wife quickly hides Jack in a nearby kettle. So Jack is so small he could easily hide in the big kettle of a giant. Giant comes and he roars and he says that he can smell Jack and he knows it's a boy, and he said that he will find the boy and grind his bones to make himself his a bread. So he wants to find the little boy so that he can eat him for breakfast, but his wife dismisses his belief and says that he is mistaken and it was actually ox's hide he was smelling. So he sat down, had his breakfast, and then he commands his wife to bring him his money bags, the 2 bags of gold, and he starts counting the money. Jack watched in wonderment at all that was happening. The giant then asked his wife to fetch his little hen, which had laid golden eggs. The hen laid 20 golden eggs. After the after the giant had put the eggs into a basket, he called out, "Wife, bring me the golden lyre." His wife brought the golden lyre and placed it on the table. "Sing," said the giant, and the lyre at once began to sing the most beautiful songs that ever were heard. It sang so sweetly that the giant soon fell fast asleep. Seeing that the giant was fast asleep, Jack crept quietly out of the kettle and tiptoed to the table. He gathered the money bags and the little hen. He put them into a large bag, and just as he lifted the golden lyre, it called out, "Master, master!" And the giant woke up just in time to catch sight of Jack running out of the kitchen door. So, children, what happens here? Now, Jack is amazed by the size of the giant and how ferocious and strong he was and how much money he had. So he watched everything in wonderment, in amazement. He heard then that the giant asked his wife to fetch him, bring him, the little hen which laid golden eggs. How many eggs did the hen lay? How many eggs did the hen lay? The hen laid 20 golden eggs. After the giant has put the eggs in the basket, what does he ask his wife to bring? A lyre, a golden lyre. Now his wife brings the golden lyre. Giant commands the lyre to sing, and the lyre, the instrument that you can see in hands of wife and later in Jack's hand, that is a lyre. So the lyre starts singing a beautiful song, and with the effect of the song, the giant sleeps. Now, as the giant is sleeping, Jack quietly comes out of the kettle and he walks on his toes, comes near the table, and he take the money and the little hen and put it in a bag, a big bag. And as soon as he's about to take the lyre cries out, Master, Master! And Giant wakes up, so much so that he catches the sight of the Jack running out of the kitchen door. With a fearful roar, he screamed, Fee, fi, fo, fum, I spy a country bum. He is alive, but will soon be dead when I grind his bones to make my bread. He grabbed his club and dashed after Jack, who was already halfway down the beanstalk. The giant began to climb down too, but as soon as Jack saw him coming, he called out, Mother, bring me an axe. Jack had no sooner reached the ground than he chopped the beanstalk. Down came the giant with a terrible crash, and that was the end of him. With the bags of gold and little hen, Jack and his mother grew very rich. They lived happily ever after. So, in this paragraph, what happens? Giant gets up, he wakes up with the voice of the lyre, and he sees Jack running away with his bag of gold and little hen. He gets very angry. He says, I spy a country bum, means I have seen the village boy. Right now, this boy is alive, but as soon as I catch him, I will kill him and I'll grind his bones and make my bread. Saying that he grabs his club and runs after Jack. Now, what is a club? Club is a heavy stick which is thick at one end. Now, Jack is already sliding down the beanstalk, and as soon as he sees the giant following him, he calls out to his mother, Mother, bring me an axe. And as he reaches the ground, he takes the axe and chops the beanstalk. What happens after he chops the beanstalk means he cuts the beanstalk. The giant falls down with a terrible crash and dies. So now Jack has bag of golds and a little hen that can lay golden eggs, and he and his mother grew very rich and lived happily ever after. Children, keep reading and stay happy.